Again, this is Pastor Tammy, and I am on the outside of our Willow Valley United Methodist Church, walking through our parking lot to kind of get a feel for where we are located out here. If you see in the distance, there is a baseball field for the school. You look through those trees, that actually is the school over here, and here is our church parking lot. We have a shed over there. The building directly in front of us is part of the old gym that used to be part of the high school and is still used for some of their functions. Over here we have our handicap accessible front of our church building. And here is the red door where I usually go into the office. So we're going to go into that right now because I did not bring my keys with me out here to unlock the other door. We come in and immediately there are steps going downstairs into a basement and classroom area. We have my office right here. A large bathroom right off the front. They use this often for, not just for the bathroom, but also for changing, for weddings and such as that. Down this hallway is, very short hallway, is my secretary's office. We just had a Bible study, so there's a lot of things on the table right now. And that's where my secretary is usually working. I like that the office and everything is very close. We're walking into the sanctuary now, right off of the offices. So you can see we have, I hope you can see, beautifully stained glass windows, but off to the side we have a large screen in this church building. It is very nice. I appreciate that. We have some very large wooden pulpits. I'm not sure, I preach usually from this side, but I usually stand in the middle over here and walk around a little bit while I'm preaching. I'm going to come up here. This is like a hand cross that we made from part of the old building when they remodeled. They took the beams and used that for a cross for this newer sanctuary. It used to face a different direction. As we look out, it isn't huge. Let's see if maybe I can get all of it in here in one view. But this would be our sanctuary. It's more than adequate to hold the number of people that we have regularly attending. But it does get a little bit small for weddings or special events. This box over here is actually for our audiovisual computer, so we can have somebody running it right here. And usually I have a youth, a young member of the church, who runs the projector for the church worship service. It works very well. Here is another classroom. Right now is our off season. We have bean bags. We have usually a table and chair in here. We have our chairs set up here and a mounted TV for them too. This church is handicapped accessible. We have a lift right here that will take us into the basement, up here, and into our entranceway. Here is a room that does hold, well, of course, flowers and decorations, but also holds our controls for the video and audio and everything like that, which they left on. Let's see. If we go down here, this has some older furnishings. I think that it could be updated a little bit to make it more welcoming, I think. This is nice to have chairs to sit. Very few times do we have people sitting there. And one time we used to have a lot of sports, and we have all of our little baseball trophies in a trophy box. We do mission for recycling shoes, and so we have that there. Have our plants, and our this is usually where our greeters stand near, and we have a book that we have people sign in when they come to visit. When we go over here, we have our bulletin board, which is a lot of different things. Usually lined up on this table will be cards for people's anniversaries, baptisms, birthdays, and for visiting guests, so that we can sign them a card and thank them for being present and for their work here. So we have this, it's kind of a longish table that allows people just to kind of stop by and sign their name to a card, and then they just are out on their way to the parking lot. And again, if you could see through the parking lot, I mentioned in some of my things that over this direction, that is our high school, elementary school, all in one building. It's quite a bit longer than that, but you can see how we share a lot of space, and anytime there's a ball game, it would make sense, and it does happen that our parking lot does get full. And we are out in the country. I don't know if you're concerned at all about the basement area in our church. Our basement can hold approximately 120 people when we have all our tables filled. And we have classrooms down here for our youth, like we do upstairs. I guess it's a collapsing wall on wheels. We'll make a classroom in this back area here. We're getting another one of those because we have enough youth that we need to make another room, probably somewhere in this area for when they come. We just had a dairy breakfast in town, so they borrowed a lot of roasters and stuff and brought that down for that. We have a full kitchen. It is not the most updated, but it is very handy as we feed our youth every Wednesday night here. Freezer, refrigerator, another refrigerator in the kitchen over there. We do have a couple more classrooms through here. And again, our tables are folded up because they were just used for the dairy breakfast. And here's another room for a classroom. Well, that is the majority of our church. We do have another classroom, I believe, that I missed, but let's see if I can. That would be it.